From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
What's up, world? It's the one and only Pop DBICD Primetime Capper. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. I hope you are feeling the same. And we are back with the premier sports betting show, the PrimeTime Angles. And man, let's go ahead and let's not waste any time. Let's jump into the top college basketball games for today. And you know that we got, in college basketball is different. You got your Power 5 and CFB, the elitist against the mid majors, but in college basketball, it don't matter what conference you're in. If you're a team that can hoop and you're good, you're good. And the A10 is a part of that group, and the A10 that kicks it off for us today. A10 game of the day, one of the best games of the day. Dayton coming in 10-2, Davidson coming into this game 10-3, and you always know it's a really, really tough game when you go to the Delk Center in North Carolina. Now you have a spread of +4.5 here in this game, over under 140.5 for the game as well today too. Dayton, a team that's is seen as the favorite to win the conference once again this year. Always a team that's always held in high regard, and they are coming in here on a 7-game winning streak as well too. So they're feeling pretty good about themselves. After running the table after this Houston loss when they lost by 14. They also have a significant win over St. John's as well, too, and they beat LSU. So this team knows exactly what to do in this game tonight. But see, Davidson is always a problem for this team when they're on the road. So when it comes down to it, you got a Davidson team that's actually set up here and won their last 7 in a row. And this is after starting the season 3-3. So it's going to be a really, really good game today when it comes down to these two. And both these teams are riding hot streaks coming into the game. So when I look at this one, I say to myself, I really do like the spread here. I don't know if Davidson wins the game, but I think Davidson will be right there in the mix of things to make this game very close. Now, if they do win today, it will be a nice little bonus for bettors that are betting the money line today. But I just say play it safe, play the spread +4.5. You got the home team today. It should be a good game. This is pretty much a leaders board type of game. Who's going to be in charge of the A10 for the next week or so? You know how it goes. But it's going to be a really, really tough conference this year. And these two teams have to start off with each other. And that's going to make this even better, in my opinion, today. So with that, we're going to go ahead and take Davidson with the +4.5. And from there, we move on to the ACC game of the day. ACC game of the day, this might be the best major game of the day. Clemson unranked, Miami unranked, but both are coming in with very good records. You got Clemson 11-1, you got Miami 10-2. Clemson is the favorite today as well, too. A slim favorite, -1.5 favorite. Then you have an over-under 155.5 as well, too. So this one right here should be a game that is very evenly matched. And, going to Coral Gables is always tough for these teams. It does not matter. Miami is one of the tougher home games for anybody in the ACC. So this will be a very significant game as we move along to the tournament as well, too, because both these teams are going to be using this for their resume. Now, when you look at Clemson, they are a one-loss team. They really did start the season off fairly hot, and they did a very, very good job of staying consistent as well, too. And so when I look at their last 5 games, even though they did have a loss to Memphis and they only lost by 2, they beat TCU, they beat South Carolina. They also beat a number 23 Alabama team as well. They also beat Davidson, who we just previously talked about. And they got some really good, significant wins on their record. Now, Miami, a team that played in the Final Four last year, they've won their last 3 in a row. And, when I look at their situation right here, there's one significant game. They did get blown out Colorado, another significant game. They did get blown out, but Kansas State, they were able to win that game. So this goes to show you kind of like that Miami is not middling, but Miami is a team that that really has to heat it up. And I know that's why they're the slight doggy dog today. But all in all, I can't fade Miami at home. I'm going to take Miami money line today. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. But this is going to be a really, really, really good game today in the ACC. And I look forward to it. I really do. And I think that a lot of people that are very into the ACC play right now, they'll be very into this game as well too. So with that, we move forward. Let's go ahead and jump into our next one, which is going to be which is going to be the Big Ten game of the day. It's going to be Indiana 10-3. We got Nebraska 11-2, and Nebraska is a 5.5 point favorite today. 100 and the over under is 149.5. Man, this is funny because you got Nebraska, who's actually a formidable team this year, and you really do have to take them seriously. Indiana, I don't know, man. It seems like Indiana, you want to take them today. You think they're going to come in here, they're going to have a great game, but I'm looking at their schedule. They really haven't played much, and in their 3 losses, they lost to Auburn, Connecticut, and they lost to rival Kansas. And their one significant win that they have here is Louisville and Maryland. And I don't like that. You know what I mean? I don't think that they've beaten enough to really warrant me to chase them today. You know what I mean? I think that Nebraska is a team on the rise. They got some good things going with them. They've recruited well. They've won their last 4 in a row. They got a good win over Kansas State. They got a good win over Michigan State as well, too. The tough loss to Creighton in their interstate game. But other than that, this team has been pretty solid. They've been pretty good, and they've been able to put teams away as well, too. So that's something that's very significant to look at, and something that gets you very excited when it comes down to the way that this game sets up. Now, you really get down to the gist of things, and you say to yourself, is Nebraska ready to turn that corner? That's the biggest question that you have. And this is a great barometer of it. The odds makers feel that they are. 5.5 point spread, they feel like they can cover the 6. And I feel like they can cover the 6 as well, too. I know Indiana is going to be tough. I know they're going to come in with a underdog mentality and all that good stuff, but I feel like they're going to be a very public overbet. And, a lot of people are going to be chasing them as their dog of the day and all that good stuff because there's people that still aren't convinced about who Nebraska is. Nebraska does look like a tournament team this year as well, too. And this is a very significant game for them to show and prove exactly who they are. And I believe that they can go ahead and do that. So that's why I'm going to go ahead and take them today with the -5.5, but I'm actually getting a 5 right now. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out, but we move from there. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the Pac-12 game of the day. The Pac-12 game of the day is going to be between 2 old rivals, Stanford and UCLA. Stanford coming into this game 6-6, UCLA 6-7. UCLA trying to get themselves off the mat and get themselves on a winning streak. Stanford already knows that they're a work in progress, but it's really a struggle right now for UCLA. They're trying to find their identity. Guys are trying to find their roles. Guys are trying to figure out, are they scorers? Are they support players? What are they doing out here? It seems like they can put together a good 30 minutes worth of basketball. And then there's just that 10 minutes where they're just a really lousy team. And it's been a gift and a curse for this team all year long. Stanford coming off a monster upset against Arizona, but nobody should ever be surprised when Arizona goes up north or when Arizona is playing against a USC or UCLA. Whenever they come to the state of California, it's always danger for the Wildcats. And everybody who's been following the Pac-12 knows this for years. I've always known this, that when you go to Stanford and you're a Cali team and you're a top team, it's going to be a tough game. That's why they call it the farm. So Stanford coming off their biggest win of the season. UCLA was in a good shape to beat Oregon, but they blew a 5-point lead. And then they did not play well in the final seconds of the game when they did have an opportunity to actually win that game. So UCLA wants to make up for that effort at the end of the night. I think that they figured some things out to the point to where, this can be a really good weekend for them and get them some consistent back-to-back wins, because you got Stanford and Cal coming in this weekend. But this game is always tough because Stanford is an arch rival. That means these guys are relentless. They don't care what comes into play. They're going to try to win. They want to win this game. And UCLA cannot sit up in here and play the same game that they've been playing throughout these first 13 games, where they look great for moments in time, and then they're absolutely just terrible in moments in time. So they're going to have to balance out and figure out how they can just be better in this game. And that's, I think, this game can be the turning point of the season, but they got to turn something on very soon. And they still got the Pac-12 tournament to where they can, have a chance to make the tournament, but you don't want to put yourself in that position. They can go ahead and start making some real moves here as long as they start being focused on the task at hand. So today, I'm going to go ahead and take UCLA with the 4.5. They've bumped up to a 5. I think this will be a good get-back game for UCLA, a confidence builder as well, too, as they go into the weekend game against Cal, trying to get back-to-backs. But first, they have to win this game tonight against the Cardinals. So with that, that's going to be a wrap on our top college basketball games for today. And when I get back, we will talk the state of the Lakers, and we will get into the NBA Wednesday night. So you guys stay tuned. This is the premier sports betting show, the PrimeTime Angles, with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the PrimeTime Capper.
Good News Only Racing Club, led by the legendary Doug O'Neill, the trainer of 2 Kentucky Derby winners, and I'll have another in Nyquist. Also trained 2-time Breeders' Cup champ Golden Sense, who are just a part of a long list of thoroughbred champions trained by Doug O'Neill. The Good News Only Racing Club has a young core of horses to look out for in Dennis's Celery, Irish Heatwave, and Notre Dame, just to name a few. Win the day every day with the Good News Only Racing Club, a proud sponsor of the NFL Bet Exchange.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
Tune into Big Wave Boxing every week with a brand new guest with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the PrimeTime Capper, getting the best boxing stories, best boxing angles, and the truth when it all comes down to the sweet science. Tune in to Big Wave Boxing on the Prime Wave Media channel on YouTube.
All right, we're back with the premier sports betting show, the PrimeTime Angles, with the one and only Pop DiBiase. And let's go ahead and jump into the state of the Lakers. The Lakers are absolutely playing terrible right now. Now, I wouldn't say terrible. I told you guys what was going to happen. The Lakers don't play well in December, okay? It's a lot of road travel for the Lakers. It's a lot of holiday. It's a lot of just, hurt players trying to get themselves back into shape and all that good stuff. I feel like the Lakers do not do a good job getting into shape for the regular season. Like, it takes them about the first 60 to 90 days to really be in top shape. And really, a lot of times now in the LeBron era, it seems like it's just been a dress rehearsal for whatever first half group that's going to be there before they start making these miraculous trades and everything that bring in all these players that are always so helpful. But once again, the Lakers dropped the ball. They had a great trade run last year when they got everybody together who made that run. But then they did not keep that team intact. And all those guys were willing to take discounts to stay on the Lakers. But they just wound up saying, you know what? Hey, let's just let's go ahead and just bring back Rue and bring back Reeves and bring back D'Angelo, and then everybody else has to walk. No, man, you should have brought back everybody. But we're here where we're at now. Gabe Vincent, he's not going to be around for another 2 months. He might not even be back for the season, man. So that's a complete waste right now. Cam Reddish has been in and out the lineup with groin and leg issues, but he's playing well improved basketball right now as well, too. He's playing great basketball. He just got to get healthy. Christian Wood is a guy I want to see more out of right now. He's playing really great basketball, in my opinion. I think that Darvin Ham's not playing him enough. The guy can shoot, the guy can rebound, the guy can dunk. This guy wants to be a part of the winning for the Lakers. Jackson Hayes is a guy that I think that is probably going to be a moving part for the Lakers as well. You know what I mean? So when I look at this team, they won 3 games in December. So, everybody keeps blaming the cup. It's the cup. It's the cup. No, it was not the cup. It's not the cup. It's that the Lakers are not good in the month of December. This was the problem last year as well, too. The Lakers were awful in December, but this was really bad. They won 3 games, and it just wasn't good. But the Lakers have had a lot of time off as well, too. They haven't been able to get consistent. They haven't played since Sunday, so they've gotten themselves a good break. Everybody who has some little wears and tears and some little injuries and things like that, they should be well healed from that situation. So this should be a night where the Lakers really do start to get things together. They haven't played in the month of January yet. So they have a clean slate. It's a brand new year. With the mentality that they have, they're 0-0 right now. Okay. And the Lakers really will start to take off in possibly the next few weeks. They won't probably take off like right away, but this is a good measure of games right here. You got Miami where you can kind of test yourself to see where you're at. But then you got a Memphis team that's kind of ascending because now Ja's getting really, really comfortable on what he's doing right now. We know Memphis is probably going to sneak into the playoffs by the end of the year. But then the big game comes up on Sunday against the Clippers. So the Lakers really do need to try to get 2 out of 3 this week if they don't get the sweep this week. This is a very important week towards the rest of the month. You cannot look at the Lakers situation where, the playoffs. You have to look at it at 1 game at a time, 1 week at a time, 1 month at a time, because that's how it goes. The Lakers just need to finish above 500 this month, above 500 February, above 500 March, and then have themselves in the right position in April, and everything will be right where the Lakers want to be at. But right now, we got to take it 1 game at a time. And right now, the Lakers are not in good shape, but they can fix everything piece by piece, step by step. So that's what I'm seeing with the Lakers right now. I say don't press the panic button. They're fine. And then when you look at the Heat situation, you know that the Heat are going to start cooking when it's time to start cooking. And they know where they're at. They're in the Eastern Conference. So they had a good December. They're coming off of a bad loss against the Clippers. They want to get the bounce back because they're going to Phoenix right after this as well, too. So this is going to be a tough game for the Lakers tonight, but it's going to be a tough game for the Heat tonight as well, too. So I look forward to a really, really highly contested game between these two teams. And, man, it's going to be a very, very good game. If you're looking for a bet here, I would say play the over 228.5. I feel like we are going to get us some points tonight in this game. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. But Lakers Heat tonight from Crypto.com Center or Arena, whatever they call it. But we call it Staples. If you're a Laker fan and if you're from LA, it's the Staples Center, okay? All right, so we move forward. Let's go ahead and jump into NBA Wednesday night. We damn near got a full slate tonight with the NBA. We got ourselves a ton of games tonight. I'm trying to get the exact number of games tonight as well, too, in the NBA. We got 12. So we got a few teams off, but everybody's playing tonight pretty much. So first, let's go ahead and get to the Nets and the Rockets. The Nets coming in here 15-19. The Rockets 16-15. And pretty much this game is a 5.5 point spread to the Rockets. And then over under a 221.5 here. So when I look at this one, I tell myself that, a lot of people are going to write off the Nets tonight, but the Nets have been really good in Houston over the last decade or so, even when they've been a bad team. And, they've struggled as well, too. They did lose 5 in a row in the month of December, and then they did lose 3 in a row on the way out, and they've lost their only game here in January. So that's technically they've lost 4 in a row, and they've lost their last 9 out of 11. This team was much better than that to start the season, but they're just going through their woes. Guys are hurt. Guys are banged up. And, pretty much they just need a time and place to just start running, because I'm telling you right now, this Nets team is going to get scary in a minute. They're going to start getting wins that they're not supposed to get. And, you got to be ready for it. Now, this Rockets team, on the other hand, they're building continuity. They're building chemistry. They're doing a good job with Dylan Brooks and Fred VanVleet and you make a Udoka and, Jabari and Jalen. These guys they're coming together. They're trying to make a great core unit. And a lot of things are working out in the right way. But, they didn't finish the month the way that they would want to. They lost their last 6 out of 8 after having a 5-game winning streak in the month of December. But they did start off the month with the win over lowly Detroit. You know what I mean? When you get a win over Detroit, it's like pretty much you're supposed to beat Detroit, right? So they beat Detroit by 23 on the first day of the year. Now they're pretty confident coming into this one. But the thing is, though, they can't look at the Nets like they're Detroit. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to be pretty bold here. I'm going to go ahead and take the Nets tonight as the dog of the day in the NBA, plus 225 tonight on the money line with the Nets. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it shakes out, and we will move forward from there. All right, so we have our next game coming up, which is going to be the Pelicans and the Wolves. This is going to be one of the better games of the night. You got a Pelicans team that's 20-14. The Wolves are 24-8. The Wolves will be a 6.5-point favorite tonight. Over under 222.5 tonight as well too. Ant Edwards has been an absolute monster lately. And you got the Pelicans with Brandon Ingram doing his thing under the radar, or whatever you want to say it is. But that guy is a absolute killer. If he was in Brooklyn, New York, he's still in LA, he would be a big deal in the NBA. But playing in New Orleans, it's almost like a witness protection program right now, man. It's all about Zion, but at the end of the day, it's been about Brandon Ingram pretty much since the day he got there. But they do form one of the better duos in the NBA right now. They're averaging 45 points a game nightly. So they're getting about 40% of the points. Then you add in CJ's 23 a night, and they're doing pretty good. So they got themselves a good win over Brooklyn the other night. They were able to finish the month with a good little run there. They got a good win over the Lakers, so they've won their last 3 in a row. And then they're looking to get even with Minnesota, who's been kind of a pain. They beat Minnesota by 14 at home. Now they travel on the road to try to do it again, and I think it's going to be a little tough tonight. Now, Minnesota, on the other hand, they have the league on lookout, because these guys are 24-8. I told you guys earlier on when I was doing my preview that the Minnesota Timberwolves were going to be one of the best teams in the NBA. And right now, they're the best team in the Western Conference. They've won their last 4 out of 6. They're going into this game tonight very confident, but they know that regression is real, and you can jump out to have a 24-8 stint, but then you may come back around and have a 8-20 stint. You know what I mean? You have to stay consistent. And I feel like the Wolves are starting to kind of get caught up with a little bit, not a lot, but just a little bit. And it may be something that they might need to look at a little bit further. But I think at the end of the day, this game does wind up being more of a game that is a watching game. It's not a game that you really pick a side in, because this could be a dog for you with New Orleans, or this could be let's hope the Wolves can get this home. Don't even overthink this thing. Play the scoreboard, play the over 223.5 is what I have here from what it's jumped up to, and it's actually jumped down because I actually did this last night. So it went down to 222.5, but I have it at 223.5. So it doesn't matter to me. I feel like they're going to score more than 230 points tonight anyway. So if you want to use an alternate line, I will go ahead and do that tonight as well too. And this is going to be a good game. This is why I say, I can't pick a side, but I will watch the scoreboard tonight, and I'm leaning on the over. All right. So with that, we move forward. Let's go ahead and jump into our next game, which is going to be the Raptors and the Grizzlies. The Raptors come into this game 13-20, while you have a Grizzlies team that's 11-22, and they will be a 1.5-point favorite. Skinny dog tonight. I mean, skinny fave tonight. And you got the over under of 226.5. Ja has his team playing on a different level right now, but we knew that was going to happen when Ja got back, because Ja is the man. And pretty much when you're looking at this situation right now, you got a Grizzlies team that just came off of a good win the other night against the Spurs. They had won 4 in a row with Ja coming back, but then they had lost 3 in a row. But that was because they played a tough part of the schedule. They played Denver, the Clippers, and the Kings all back-to-back. But then they get with the Spurs last night. They beat them by 8. So tonight on a back-to-back, they're playing against a Raptors team that just got 2 pretty good players from New York with R.J. Barrett and Manuel Quickly, and they got themselves a good win the other night against Cleveland, winning by 3. But tonight is a different game. So this one right here, I feel like what we do here is we'll take the Grizzlies because it's a 50-50 game. But this game really calls for the Grizzlies to continue the run that they're getting with Ja Morant. Ja Morant will get this team back to 500 and above. It's going to take a bit, but they're going to get there. And I think they're going to go ahead and get the win tonight. I got the minus 125 on this one. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it checks out. But this will be my bet tonight on this game, minus 125 on the Grizzlies tonight. And I'm truly looking at this game, and I said to myself, the Raptors are a team that you really, really got to take seriously. But tonight, this is going to be tough because they're still trying to, get used to the moving parts and everything like that. And this team is still getting shaken up as well, too. Siakam looks like he's going to be one of the bigger trades in the NBA this year. So quite possibly one of these playoff championship contenders may be adding a former champion to their team as well, too. So it's going to be a lot of fun here in the next few weeks as they start moving players around to certain franchises, moving guys to places where they're going to get more playing time, moving guys to places where they're going to help contribute to championships. That's what you love about the NBA at this point of the year, from January to the trade deadline, to where you know that there's going to be some moves getting made. So with that, we got the Grizzlies tonight, minus 125. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it checks out. We move forward. Now, this is a NBA tradition in a sense, and that's going to be the Bulls and the Knicks. And this one is going to be a good one. You got the Bulls, who are 15-20 coming into this one. Knicks are 18-15. The Knicks are a 9-point favorite tonight as well, too. Over under of 220.5. Jalen Brunson's playing out of his mind right now. He should be considered as one of the MVP candidates this year as well, too. You also have Julius Randle, who looks like a first-team All-Pro right now, just absolutely amazing. And OG Anunoby is going to be the glue guy that they've been looking for. They loved R.J. Barrett, but R.J. Barrett was more of an offensive star for them. And they got a star in O.J. Anunoby. O.J. was a big piece to winning that championship as one of their key role players. But now he gets a better role in New York in a Scottie Pippen type mode where he can be a point forward. He's going to play good defense. And, you get a guy that's going to play both ends of the court. It's no more of this, let me look good for the camera, let me look good for the city, and all that stuff that they like to do in New York City when they, big time scorers and things like that. Sometimes guys are just trying to be a New York citizen and not a New York player. And I feel like with OJ Anunoby, you're going to get a guy who's going to really, really play for you. RJ Barrett was there, but RJ Barrett was really into being a New Yorker as well, too. And you got to be bigger than that when you play for the Knicks, because you might not be with the Knicks for long. So you look at this situation, Knicks have gotten their act together. They were struggling a bit here at the end of the month, but they got a good win to start the season off. To start the year off. They beat the Wolves by 6. The Bulls struggling a bit. They got absolutely scorched last night. And, they've been back-to-back, consistent with winning and losing. They keep trading off a win for a loss, a win for a loss. That's what it's been for the Bulls pretty much all year. But tonight, this is one of the better rivalries in the NBA. Everybody knows that. The Knicks and Bulls always make some must-see TV moments. And I think tonight is going to be one of those games. They're going to go absolutely at it tonight because you got a Bulls team coming fresh off of a blowout against probably the best team in the Eastern Conference. Well, at least they got the best player in the Eastern Conference going against the Knicks tonight, who are kind of fresh. They haven't, they didn't have to play last night. They haven't played since Monday. But these games usually wind up being kind of like wars and things like that. I'm not saying the Bulls win this game tonight, but I will take the Bulls with the +9 tonight to make this thing interesting. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. But this is where I'm going with this one tonight. I'm going to take the +9 on the Bulls. We move forward from there. All right, our next game coming up is going to be this one right here. It's going to be the Pistons and the Jazz. And I know you guys are like, Pistons and the Jazz, this came out of nowhere, Pop. But you know what? You got a Pistons team that's 3-30. You got a Jazz team that's 15-19. You got an 8.5-point spread. You know how it goes. And I know a lot of people are going to take the Jazz to absolutely wreck the Pistons tonight. But I don't know if that might be the smartest thing to do because the Jazz don't play great defense. Let's keep it real. And the Pistons right now, if you're a team that lost, 28 games in a row, 27, you don't want to keep losing. You know what I mean? You don't want to start a new losing streak. And they just fresh off of winning games and things like that. So I think tonight it's going to be a game where a little bit of defense is going to get played. I hate to say it, or they're just going to be missing a lot of shots tonight. But I like the under 239.5. Now, when you look at how everything works out, I already said the Pistons, they lost a record amount of games. They lost for 2 months straight. That's all what all of us know. But the Jazz, on the other hand, they've been a pretty bad team too. But they at least tried. They got a great win the other night. Jordan Clarkson got himself a triple-double. So they're pretty confident. And in reality, this team has actually won their last 5 out of 6. So they're starting to get a little bit into a groove but they don't have big expectations. And I know this is going to be an oversight, an overbet by a lot of bettors tonight. And I know that both these teams are really bad at defense. But usually what happens when two teams are really bad at defense, they get a little overexcited. And so then the game winds up going under. So I'm going to take the under 239.5 in this spot. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. But that's what I'm looking at right here. And that's where I'm going to go right here is where I'm going to go with the under 239.5 here for the Pistons and the Jazz. So with that, we're going to go ahead and take one final break. And when I get back, we're going to do Talkin Tickets. I got the CBB PrimeTime PK6 for you. I got the CBB DogDay PK4 for you. And I got the NBA Super High Five for you. So you guys stay tuned. This is the Premier Sports Betting Show, the PrimeTime Angles with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the PrimeTime Gap.
Now you and your friends can compete in the sport of kings and win big with Stable Duel. Get the app, pick your horses, and get in on the thrill of horse racing with daily games competing against other players. Bring home the glory and the cash and move up the annual leaderboard while you leave your competition in the dust. Get in the game with Stable Duel. Play, race, win.
Good News Only Racing Club, led by the legendary Doug O'Neill, the trainer of 2 Kentucky Derby winners and I'll Have Another and Nyquist. Also trained 2-time Breeders' Cup champ Golden Sense, who are just a part of a long list of thoroughbred champions trained by Doug O'Neill. The Good News Only Racing Club has a young core of horses to look out for in Dennis's Celery, Irish Heatwave, and Notre Dame, just to name a few. Win the day every day with the Good News Only Racing Club, a proud sponsor of the NFL Bet Exchange.
All right, we're back with the Premier Sports Betting Show, the PrimeTime Angles. So pretty much here we are. Let's go ahead and get ourselves into Talking Tickets. All right, it's your favorite subject, my favorite subject, and it's world famous. So pretty much with that, up first, we got the PrimeTime PK6, 67-1. I'm taking Davidson plus 4.5 to kick this thing off. We got Miami money line minus 105. That's the U, not Miami of Ohio, y'all, but the U minus 105. And then we have Nebraska. Man, I know I'm gambling tonight, but I'm taking Nebraska tonight because I think that I know how people are thinking. They're gonna abuse Indiana at the window. So Nebraska, Take us home tonight. Let's get a double-digit victory here. Now, this plus 145, that's for Northern Arizona University. So for people that don't know acronyms and things like that, it's Northern Arizona University, okay? So pretty much we're going to take that plus 145 with that one right there. And then we also have Xavier tonight in their game against Villanova. We did have Big East games tonight, but I think that they warranted enough to where they had a big-time game of the day like the Pac-12, the ACC, the A-10, and the Big Ten. So pretty much that's where we're at with the plus 8.5. And also I've released the bets list for all the conferences today. So yeah, we have it there. And then we got UCLA finishing up with the -5. This is going to be a 67-1 ticket. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out, and we move forward from there. All right, we got the CBB DogDay PK4 55-1. We have LaSalle plus 145. We got G-Tech money line plus 160. We got Rice money line plus 310. And then we have UMKC money line plus 115. This is going to be a 55-1 ticket. Hopefully we can get this one home. Pretty much you put $20 on this one, you get back $1,100. So let's see how it goes. Let's see how it shakes out. But I do feel pretty good about this ticket because we have home teams here and we have road teams here. So we'll see how it goes. It should be a formidable ticket. And as I always say, single what you like, because there is one here that is going to hit, but hopefully all four hit. So we move forward. Let's go ahead and get to the super high 5, 40-1. Man, we got big odds today. And you know, I'm not trying to sell you guys any miracle tickets. These tickets actually have the consistency of hitting. So we've been at it for a decade. So this super high 5 has a really good look to it tonight because you have a Nets in reality, which is really a 50-50 game. So that plus 225 looks really good. The over 223.5 with the Pels and Wolves, two teams that can score and put points on the board. And you got two of the premier scorers in the game going at each other tonight, and Ant and Brandon Ingram. And then you add in Zion and his 20 points a game as well, too. With Cat, it should be a fun NBA Jams type of game situation with the Pels and Wolves tonight. And then we got the Grizzlies minus 125. This is going to be a pretty good bet for us tonight as well, too. Hopefully, Ja gets the memo and they make easy work of the Raptors tonight, but it is going to be a tough game for this team, but hopefully they do step it up to where we get this win tonight. Then we got the Bulls plus 9. We just need them to cover. That's all we need them to do. But the Bulls could do us a favor and just go ahead and get themselves a big win. But I think the cover is good enough tonight in this spot. And then we finish up with the under 239.5 with the lowly Pistons and the irrelevant Jazz. So pretty much I love the under 239.5 tonight. I think this one will be probably the sure thing here. And I know you guys are like, man, but both these teams can't play defense. But tonight I don't see them scoring either. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. But that's a 40-1 ticket right there for the NBA Super High 5. So with that, that's going to be a wrap on today's show. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. You guys are the absolute best. And this is the premier sports betting show, the Primetime Angles with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper. I'll be back at you tomorrow. We'll have Jeff Dawson here to go ahead and talk some good stuff with us as well, too. He'll be with us tomorrow to talk some more college basketball, talk about the fallout in college football as well, too, and talk a little bit of NBA as well with this as well too. So, and maybe we might sneak in a little baseball as well. So it is what it is at the end of the day. But like I always say, share, retweet, do what you got to do. Send this out. Let's get these numbers up. And it is what it is. But with that, as I always say, bet with your head, not with your heart. The movement is moving, and I am gone.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into